Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Hugo Correa, and on this series of videos where I'm actually going through the restoration of my property, it's a historic house, I want to guide you through some of the steps that I normally take and that you should consider when you're doing your restoration, right? So this house is about 130 years old. What you're looking are some of the windows of the living room, about 4,000 square feet, 38 windows, and obviously a lot of work in the outside and the inside. So you have a lot of challenges, right? You have water lines that need to be changed, sewer lines, power lines, the external electrical panel service, and other things that are important. But I want to guide you through some of the steps that I normally take. Being part of one of those committees is the part of the historical properties and how you need to approach your historical property, right? So to start and to make you happy, there's a lot of money that is out there designated for historical properties. When you're going to do a restoration, some of the towns and cities can actually give you an incentive for you to do your job, and they can actually cover some of your cost. So that will help you to mitigate a little bit of the cost of remodeling, renovating, or restoring your property, right? So what are some of the important challenges that you're going to run into? And those are the permitting. So you want to go ahead and make sure that when you are ready to do a change in your house, and I'm going to give you a good example. After World War II, this property was divided into other properties, right? Inside was split so they can fit more families inside one single house. And that means that they open doors in places, they cut windows in other ones, they chop walls, just to make sure that they made room for all these little families. And obviously that left the house and the outside with some weird designs, and I went through the steps to be able to bring it back to one single family house. Now that means that anytime that you want to plan something in the exterior, not so much in the interior, but in the exterior of the house, you want to go ahead and present that to the proper authorities so you can actually approach that in the best way possible. They will go through hearings and they will determine if the approach that you're taking is the proper one for you to restore your property. That doesn't mean that you can't add something to your property, because the idea is to maintain the period of the property, maintain the style, the essence of the property, so you can do some sort of upgrades if necessary, obviously based on all this approach that you're doing or the similar work that you're going to do. And in my case, for instance, by taking some of the doors that are not proper from the era where the house was built and putting the original windows, then that's going to bring the beauty of the house back again to the original design, right? So that's not a big issue. But before you do any type of restoration, you want to go ahead and document everything really well, present all these documents plus your applications to the proper authorities and say, look, this is what I want to do, this is what will cost to do it, and I want to make sure that I present this before I do my project. And that's how most of the time you're going to get your grants, right? So the other important thing that you want to make sure is that you use moldings and you use the material that is close to the period. Now, granted, for instance, if you have a stucco walls, sometimes the original stucco walls were built with whatever was available back in those days. They had like river sand, and now you don't have that anymore as easy as before, or some type of cements and lime that you don't have available anymore. So some products and better through the years, they became stronger, they become a little better. And the steps that you're going to take are a little different, but that doesn't mean that you're going to take the essence, the beauty of the house. You want to enhance that beauty. You want to make sure that everything will last for a little longer. And obviously you want to make sure that you comply with all the requirements, right? So those are the important things. I want to put a decoration in front. I want to put a little trellis in front of my house. And for that, I need permission. I want to make sure that when I build it, it's going to stay there forever. It's not going to be taken away because it was not properly introduced to the property. That doesn't mean that you need to live with a house that because it had certain type of fixtures or details, it can't be upgraded. So you can actually do a lot of things in your property, right? Now, in the interior part of the house and the exterior part, there are a few things that I want to guide you with through, so you don't have the frustration and the hazardous condition that a lot of people is not considering, right? One of those is working with lead paint. As you know, all these properties, and before 1978, all the properties were allowed to be painted with lead-based paint. And although it was a really good resistant paint, it's really toxic, especially for the babies and overall for everybody, right? Your pets, yourself, and all that stuff. So whenever you're working with this type of houses, you know that you're gonna have lead-based paint. So you wanna make sure that you properly cover the area, you properly work, you have respiratory masks, good filters in your vacuums. You know, I have this kind of nice filters that are designed for this type of work. Whenever you're gonna do a little bit of sanding work and all these things, you wanna make sure that you protect yourself and the surrounding of your house, right? So those are important points. And obviously, if you need to work with any type of moldings, you wanna make sure that you can get to the closest design that you have. So, and I'm gonna go through all those things. I'll give you an example. I have to contact some people in Germany to be able to have the router bits to make the molding that is missing in the house. So you can go through a lot of things, but it's really nice. Now, one last thing that I want to introduce you to is to a company called Indo. Indo is the company that is helping me now because I had a frustration. I was looking, researching, and I was able to find them and actually talk to them and be able to go over the products that they have that are really impressive for me. Because I have few situations. First one, a lot of little insects come inside my house because I have a rattling, windows that are not exactly fit, so a lot of the insects come into my house. The second thing is that I live right next to the railroad tracks, 30 steps away from the railroad tracks, and when the train passes and they honk, this sound is like being on front of a cruise ship. That's how loud that thing is. And the other thing that is important is that it's going to help me to retain a little bit of the temperature that I have inside the house, right? In winter it will get too cold, and in summer it will get really hot. So by having this fixed, I will not say fixed, but this nice and snug panel that you can put inside your house is way better than working with stone windows that is going to damage the beauty of the house. And it's going to be nice and snug. They have this proprietary foam-like material that is going to go snug over there, well fit, and they can actually send you a package where you're going to go ahead, use their measurement kit to be able to do the stuff. Not only that, I mean, these are the squares, but I have also oval windows, and they can actually make one for your oval windows as well in all type of shapes that you can have throughout your house. So those are important tips that I want to leave you with. Don't forget that you have a lot of opportunities with a historic house. It's a nice challenge for all of us, and I'm really happy to share with you. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.